Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell 104 or 105. I forgot to double check before I started filming. So, obviously, I am standing once again. I'm not quite ready to be sitting on the floor, but I am doing fantastic. Everything is doing really well. My incision site seems to be healing just fine. As of filming this, my follow-up will be tomorrow, but this won't go out until Thursday. I'm filming on Monday again. So yes, lots of things going on, lots of stuff that is going on in the background here at Chez Penny. Yeah. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to Erica over at TLC, the Lopsided Crafter. She will be tagged down below in this video. But Saturday was LYS Day, and of course, Tangled on Main, my local yarn store, had to post on Facebook that they were going to have lots of things on sale. And my husband, knowing that I've been feeling under the weather, was like, well, why don't we go by your post office box and, go to the yarn store. So Saturday morning, we actually got down there shortly after they opened. And as I was leaving, I actually ran into Erica. So here's the picture that she posted on Instagram. Yeah, we totally got to dork out for a few minutes. As soon as all the global situation stuff has abated, we're totally going to hit up lunch over at the Irish pub next door to the yarn store. And right across the street, actually, they sell my favorite hot sauce, and I'm down to my last bottle of that. So I will probably have to run over to Provisions and grab some of my favorite hot sauce, and we'll do some yarn shopping. And down the street, there is a cookie dough place. So depending on how long we spend, lunching and shopping, we might have to walk down and get some raw cookie dough. This is meant to be eaten raw. It's like an ice cream parlor, but it's raw cookie dough. And I mean, if you're going to walk around downtown, you need to pick me up, right? So yes, it was a very exciting weekend. That was definitely like the highlight of the weekend, was running into Erica. That's now the second time I have been recognized in the wild. And it's hilarious because I had just commented on Jennifer over at Cinnamon Stitch's video where she was talking about it. And I said, I've only been recognized once in the wild, and that was by you. So yes, I got recognized in the wild by a friend of mine that I had never met in person. So that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time to sit there because it was lunchtime. She wanted to get her shopping on and take her son to lunch, and I needed to get home and get my husband's lunch. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. But I do have purchases. It was very much a, who's a good Carrie? So I'm not going to count this towards my stash down for the year, only because this was definitely like a self-care, get well soon kind of gift. My husband is he knows how to make me happy, make me feel better. So first off, they only had one of this color. I really wish they had two, but this is Noro. This is their sock, and this is color S493 lot A Silk Garden sock yarn. This is at 40% wool, 25% silk, 25% polyamide, and 10% mohair, and it is so soft. It is not squishy, but it's definitely very soft. I do not see, I think the yardage is actually hidden by the label. Yeah, I can't see the label on here, so I can't tell you how much yarn is in here, but I loved the watermelon colors. I was just drawn to the watermelon. So I did get a Noro. She had a lot of them on sale. I was really good and only bought the one. Next up, this was my only full price purchase, and this is from Mountain Colors. Beautifully hand painted yarns, and this is from Montana. Now, I have purchased their yarn before. I actually, once again, the shop that I went to in Washington comes up. again. But I got two of their yarns for my birthday a couple years ago when I was in Washington. This is the first time I've seen it sold in an LYS aside from Woolly Wagtails. So that was a lot of fun. This is the Twizzlefoot yarn base, 53% superwash merino, 17% domestic wool, 17% silk, 13% nylon, 450 yards, 100 grams. Hand wash or dry clean, dry flat, no bleach. Hand dyed colors may vary, and this is the color Melon Berry. Now she has started carrying Mad Tosh there in the store, and I'm just saying the colors she got in for the summer months, I was getting emotional. There's some beautiful, very similar colors to this, but this is the one I chose. I just couldn't pass it up. So that's two like shawlette scarf type projects right there. I will definitely not be making silk socks because I'm very, very, very hard on my socks. Next up, this is one of my favorite things to buy there. This is one of the Wonderland Yarn colors. This is the Alice base, which is a DK weight, 242 yards, 4 ounces. This is 70/20 superwash merino and silk. I love their yarn. So Wonderland is produced by Frabjous Fibers. I've mentioned on here before that I am totally obsessed with their colors. Once again, I don't think I can easily grab any of my other ones off the wall here. I've got a couple, well, like this is one of their DK packs, and I just love the color gradient. They do very spectacular brights that aren't overwhelming. They do have neutrals. Obviously, there's gray, and I do have one of their beautiful grays in a DK or sport weight upstairs. They do very beautiful solid and tonal neutrals, but their colors are amazeballs. They had a couple of these in the back, and I only bought this one. It was very hard to only buy just one, but I love the speckling. I love the pink. There was actually another of the lines in a bright pink back there too. This was on the 50% off wall. This was on sale. Let's see the color. This is Luminous Radiance number 215. There, you can really tell when I go shopping what colors I'm into. Pippin's in here, so I can't just throw things on the floor again, so bear with me. And then the last thing I got was actually funny because Sunny over at the North Country Knitter also went out for LYS Day to her LYS and got a ball of the Barocco Millefiori yarn. Now, I've been eyeballing this yarn for a while now. This is not in my usual colorway, but I totally love it. I did get 2 balls of it. This is the Millefiori Light Luxe, 50% acrylic, 43% wool. He's trying to climb the bottom side of my table now. 6% nylon and 1% other fibers. This is 100 grams, 350 yards per ball. It's got a beautiful, not just the metallic in there, but the yarn itself. It's not picking up on camera, but it's got a beautiful sheen to it. It is very soft. It's fluffy without being tickly. So this will definitely be another, probably larger shawl project, but absolutely in love with this. And I've been eyeballing it online, and getting 2 for 50% off was an excellent deal. I could not pass it up when I saw it. That's Pippin once again. Sorry about that. Oops. As I drop things. But yeah, I did think it was really funny. Not only did I run into Erica while I was there, you know, slinking out of the store pretending I wasn't making purchases, but when I got home, I also saw somebody else that I follow regularly had also bought some of the similar style yarn as to what I was purchasing. So that was definitely fun for Saturday. I love my LYS. That's been one of the best parts of having moved here is the LYS. And it's not on my way to the post office, but making a left-hand turn out of my post office is kind of difficult sometimes. Really sorry. Pippin is in a mood right now. You guys, you in a mood. So if I turn right out of my post office, the long way home actually takes me right by their storefront. So it is kind of hard to not just stop it and say hello. Let me see if I can grab him real quick. Come say hello, baby. Curzon's asleep upstairs, but Pippin wants to be a part of everything and every moment. And there's an empty box over here. So I will have a dedicated video coming out on Saturday about my order from Nomad Yarns. I just got done filming that, and now he's wanting to play in the Nomad box. Say hello. He's like, no, but I don't want to be cute for people. I don't want to be too for people. He should be very happy because he just got like a big old plate of wet food right before it came down, and he got a clean litter box this morning, and he still wants to be a part of everything. So, what did I work on this week? Well, I told you guys last week that I had started a granny square project just so I had something to do while I was doing all my processing and stuff for my surgery. And I have made 2 of each color so far. I'm not sure where my brain was. I thought I needed 2 of each color for some reason, and then realized, no, I really needed 3 of each color to do a lap gam, but that's neither here nor there. So this is using Loops and Thread Impeccable. I have a whole bunch of it. It's one of the yarns I really want to work out of my stash. Not that it's a bad yarn, it's just not one of my favorites, and I don't reach for it, so I want to get it used, get it out of my stash, and be done with it this year. So those are the first 4 colors that I chose to work with. It took just shy of 1 ball to do 2 squares, so I'll have enough. I had 3 of each color. I'll have just enough to do 3 squares. I'm bordering them in black. I'll do a black border and then do 1 border of each of these colors, and that should use up most of those balls of yarn. So that'll be 12 balls out of my stash, taking up less room in my cubes. They're like down there. I got a mess going on down there where I keep pulling things out to use. Next up, I did get one of my UFOs finished. This has just been a thing. So I got a mill-in bag. He's in a basket staring at me now, just so you guys know. He's just, all I see is his little eyes and ears sticking up, and he's staring at me like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Life with cats. So many years ago, I had gotten a mill-ins bag from Joann's of this yarn. I am pretty sure that this is a Peyton's yarn, and I could not find it anywhere, but it has been discontinued many, many moons ago. This pillow cover was started back in at least 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I've had the top done this whole time and just needed to do the back panels and sew them on. I have shared this project before, talking about how I just don't have that much to do. I just need to finish it. So I did. I finished it. So this is the back. I did do the open back. I've discussed this before in talking about alternative ways to use these novelty yarns that have the netting. So what I did is I knit 10 rows, knit the 11th row with the furry yarn. That way we've got nice rippling and ruching. It is quite dusty. I need to throw it in the dryer and just knock the dust out of it. The base yarn for this is Bernat Happy Holidays. And that was also ancient yarn from my stash. I got that way back when Spin Right would send to the US and you could order online. So instead of having to call them and see what they've got, and you used to just be able to go on their website and order their closeout stuff. And that's where I got that. I have 2 300-gram balls of that. Well, Now I have one and like some change, but yeah, got this done over the weekend. Sewing this was a pain in the rear end because on the edge where the floofies are attached, I had to go in and do like surgeon knots around the floofy bits to make sure that they were secured inside the pillow and wouldn't pull out. And all, so I do have like the little fingers here, but each row was just cut as I went. And that's what we've got. So that is now a pillowcase. I'll use this for Christmas, not like every day, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think it's really cute. And it's something completely different. Though I do have to say, when it's just kind of laying out like this, it makes me think of zombie brains. I'm really glad I had green and not pink, because then it really would look like brains. But the way it curls, it ruffles in on itself and stuff with the, because every stitch is so much smaller than every loop. I got a lot of ruffles in this, and it does kind of look like brains. But I love it. It's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly how I planned it to be. And that's one of those when you don't know what there's no pattern for that. So I really didn't know what to expect as I started working on that. And then as I was sewing it together, I was like, oh, am I going to mess up like the ruffles and like pull these too far? So the fact that it turned out how I expected it to, just winging it, I'm really happy. But was a pain to sew on the back panels. It took me every bit of my computer time, Saturday morning and Sunday morning, to get that sewn together. And the sides, like last night, went up really easy. It was just getting those back panels on. My next just get it done project. This one is from 2020, so this one isn't nearly as old. But this is a Just Feel festive shawl using Peyton's lace. And if you guys remember last March, I was saying I had started this thinking I had enough yarn, and turned out I didn't. And it was a long discontinued colorway. This was Midas in the lace. I did find, one of you guys found it on eBay for me actually and sent me, I think it's either Leah or Lorelei sent me the link, I believe, to where it was on eBay. And I did order it. I do have one ball left over because they were selling 2.5 balls, but it took every bit of what I had plus 1.5 balls to finish this up. But that is another UFO done. And this also goes for my goals of getting all my 2020 projects done in 2021. Anything that I started in 2020, I want to have it done by the end of this year. That way I'm not left with a stockpile of WIPs or UFOs just sitting around. And this will be a Christmas gift. So I've got one Christmas gift done too. Last but not least, I told you guys last week that with my Yarn Yay project, I was not going to be using the yarn to make the beret because that yarn is very special yarn and I'm not going to wear a beret that often. So I started off with this one. This is the small size. It did come in 2 sizes. And this is using Premier Bloom. Actually, yeah, this is the small one. And I love the way it turned out. It's absolutely adorable. It has a very similar softness and drape with the airiness of this yarn to the very fancy Lorna's Laces yarn we got. But this is just a little small. I mean, it's so cute. It's so wearable for my size, but it's just a little undersized for me. So I did decide to go and do the large one. So this is the large size. The size difference really isn't that huge, but it's just enough to where it just has a little bit more floof, but there's a little bit more styling you can do with it. And I was playing with it before I got ready to go for the day today. Just when I still in my PJs. Yeah, I like the large size better. That's definitely a better size for me. And then when it's all stretched out, that's what the bloom looks like. So I know I had seen where a couple of people said that they were concerned with the construction of the knit hat being too advanced. It's really not. It's very, very simple stitches. I would say this is an adventurous beginner. If you've done a beanie, you can make this hat. The the texture to this section right here is just knit purl stitches. And what gives the texture to the top is the decrease. And she does explain what the decrease is in the book. It's super duper simple. It's a decrease that if you're going to knit a whole lot, you're going to use. Now, I did do my tab a little bit differently on large. The first one, I followed the directions and made like a loop. And on this one, I kind of wanted to just be a little different. So I still did the I-cord up, but instead of looping it down and sewing in my end on the inside of the hat, I took my needle, I went a little bit longer than the pattern called for, and then took my needle straight down the I-cord and squished it down. And I kind of played with it to make sure I had it squished the right amount for what I wanted. So that gave me a little curlicue on the top versus the little loop. And this yarn and the yarn that came with the kit, I would say it's not one you want to put a palm on. But if you use something that was a little bit denser, this is a very soft, pliable drapey yarn. If you use something that had just a little bit more to it, you could put a palm on this. But I definitely think the pattern is adorable. I love the pattern. I am going to go ahead and crochet the other one, the crocheted pattern as well. And I will be able to compare the two just because this is so simple. It's a hat. It's an easy thing to whip up. But I do think the pattern's nice. I'm glad I have the pattern. Like I said in the unboxing video for month 2, I mean, I'm the kind of person who, if somebody said it's a good pattern, I probably would have bought a beret pattern anyway. But I did also want to show you just what I mean by like the size difference really is very, very nominal. It's just ever so slightly. The large is bigger. Ever so slightly. So yeah, I got 2 hats done. One I'll gift or donate. One I'll keep, at least for now. Or one I'll donate or gift and one I'll keep. And I got a shawl done. I got a pillowcase done. I'm well on my way to my granny squares being done. I've made a lot of progress. I'm still working on the black, gray, and red corner to corner blanket. I look so naked. Like, no matter how much eye makeup I put on without my glasses now, I look like a naked mole rat or something. Sorry, you guys. I word vomit. I've got a little bit of a sinus headache today, so my glasses are irritating me, so I keep having to take them off. I got pressure behind my ears too. It's here and here. Anyway. Mercy. Yeah. That just happened. So yeah. I've been working on that blanket. I've got something else going on my desk right now, and I can't remember what it is. I totally just forgot the other project I have on my desk. So that's really, I mean, what I've been focusing on this week, though, is the corner-to-corner blanket and the granny square blanket. I got these projects done, which over the moon about. I do still have the granny hexie blanket that I haven't touched, the donut pillow that I haven't touched, my peppermint swirl blanket that I haven't touched, and the Nuts About Squares cowl blanket that I haven't touched, and a pair of socks that I haven't touched. I still need to decide if I'm going to do, I'd originally planned on doing the German short row heel, and now I don't know. I've got the Fish Lips Kiss. I could do another just afterthought heel. I don't know. And until I decide, I can't really go much further because I'm right at like my foot length on those. So yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. That's what I've gotten done. That's what I've been working on. On Saturday, my Nomad Yarn video will be up. I'm doing that as a dedicated video because I wanted to discuss their customer service. So go check that out on Saturday. Other than that, I love hearing your guys' thoughts and opinions on things. So please share away. And if I did forget to mention on Tuesday's video about the crochet hook thing, play along. Comment and let me know your opinions on crochet hooks and knitting needles. So you guys take care. As always, I love you guys. And I will see you guys real soon. Bye, guys.